welcome to another FLINTFACE family vlog. Where's the family? Why am I in utter darkness? Well, our RV broke down in Indiana and I had to rush them home. So unfortunately, they're not with me. So I'm going to be finishing out the remainder of the tour by myself. 4.5 months, 200 plus schools. It's a suicide awareness tour, and I'm very grateful to be doing it, but I really miss my family a lot. So that's why I'm in all this darkness right now. It's how my heart feels. I'm going to be doing these a little differently as well. I'm going to be narrating them because it's just too difficult to constantly be filming myself because it's like 2 to 4 shows a day, crazy amount of driving. I've been in like 3 time zones in 1 week, in multiple, about 3 states. Right now I'm in New Mexico, and so I just, if I'm going to keep doing this, I just got to do it this way. So I'm grabbing B-roll, so there's some cool stuff I'm going to show you on this one. And also just quick announcements that we have a podcast coming out, I'm going to say this week, this Wednesday. It's called the Take Back Your Voice podcast, where we talk about resilience and healthy coping mechanisms through honest and open conversation. I'm excited about the people that are going to be on there with me, and I'm excited for your participation in it because we're going to be talking about some really awesome stuff, like how to get through this freaking hard life. Also, we have a new Patreon if you want to support what we're doing, and also I stayed in a haunted hotel this week, so let's just talk about that. So when I tell people I'm touring out in the Midwest, they're like, oh, it's just flat. Everything's flat. It's flat. Yeah, it's flat. It's amazing. It's like nothing you'll see out in the East Coast. We have like Pigeon's Pizza and like little mountains. So it's really cool to see just this vast landscape that just never ends. It's like an old NES game. When I was a kid, I'd sit there with the little red car and I'd be heading out on the horizon, and I think I'd arrive. Like the programmers knew I'd never get there, but at my little 8-year-old brain, I was like, I'm gonna get to the horizon. And I tried to capture that with my phone camera, but I think I'm gonna have to buy a real camera at some point because you can't see the depth and the scope of just the road just goes so far, it just disappears. So I left Kansas City and like the more urban part of Kansas, and I started heading out into the country, and it's really cool because you get to meet people on the road. Here's a lady took a picture of me with my car and posted it. I got to meet her and her husband, really sweet people. Sometimes people film me as they're driving by me, and then they message me right away on Instagram. You shouldn't do that while you're driving. They message me and they're like, oh, I just saw you. And that's fine, but I gotta let you know, like if you send pictures of whatever or videos or whatever, if you DM me any of that stuff, I don't open it. Like I don't open it because I don't know, some weird stuff out there. I don't want to open any weird stuff. So if I don't answer you back, I'm not rude. I just protecting us. You know what I mean? So just make it public and I'll see it, and that's cool. So as I get out into the country, I get to this place called ELLINWOOD, Kansas, and it's a beautiful all-American type town, except for its haunted hotel. Now, I don't know if it's haunted, but I saw some paranormal societies and all that stuff, and I didn't see anything because I pled the blood of Jesus as soon as I saw the building, and I was like, Jesus. But it's gorgeous. It's stunning. If you're into historic stuff especially, it's a beautiful hotel. There are 2 scary parts I will show you, though. Just keep watching. So I get there. I can't get in the building. The front door's locked. The back door's locked. I don't know what to do. So some lady, there's a bank like right behind it. There's a bank in the same alleyway, and some lady gets on the speaker at the drive-thru. She's like, try the other door. So I think she was saying try the other door, and a lady popped out that door. But up to this point, no one's there. Like this person is texting us like, hey, I can't wait to see you. Great to have you. Blah blah blah. And so this lady opens the back door, and she's like, hey, really nice lady. And I think her child was at one of the schools I was playing the next day. So she lets me in the kitchen, and we come in the back door, which was kind of weird. We go through the kitchen, and we pop out into the center room. the interesting thing is really not so much, well, I guess the hotel is really interesting, but what's really interesting is what's underneath the hotel. Underneath the hotel, there's this series, I guess under the town, there's this series of tunnels that were dug out for cowboys to get their hair cut, buy stuff, get prostitutes, get baths, really kind of some normal stuff and some creepy stuff. What I don't understand is these are intense sized tunnels, and I'll try and put a link down below of a news report I found on YouTube about it, but it's intense because like it's such a small town now. It must have been a really small town back then, and everyone had to have known that there were tunnels underneath, right under the street, and all this stuff was going on. So is it like, maybe if you are from this area or if you know more about this stuff, maybe you can comment about it, because I really would love to understand this. Like, if they knew it was happening, was it okay because it was like 10 feet below the ground, or you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like, they just, why go through all that trouble? Just plop it up top, you know? But anyway, maybe you can let me know. So I did not go for a tour. I didn't have time, but I also really didn't want to know what was under me while I was sleeping. So everything was fine. I wasn't like weirded out really, to be honest. Everything was clean. It smelled fine. You know, that's the important stuff. But when I laid down in bed and I looked up and I saw this like 6 foot by 1 foot gap above my door with just some woodwork, and I could hear people breathing on the other side of the door. Like, I could just hear them walking by, sniffing. Like, there was zero privacy. Like, I couldn't like watch YouTube or something with my phone. Like, I had to have earbuds in, because literally they could just listen to everything I'm doing, and I couldn't have any conversations or anything like that. So that was uncomfortable. But the most terrifying part was the community bathroom. And I asked the lady, I said, is there anybody else staying here? She's like, no, I think it's just you. No, there was like 2 other people staying there. I met one of the dudes, the one dude was really nice. He was working on the oil lines or whatever, and him and I chatted for a little bit. But I don't know, man. I'm just not into shared bathrooms. I know some people will totally be like, whatever, dude, you know, it's fine. There's a charm to it. But it's not a charm I wanted to experience that day. So before I even had a chance to edit this video, I was driving 8 hours through New Mexico, from Colorado Springs to New Mexico, Hobbs, New Mexico to be specific. So I'm like right at the bottom, right on the border of Texas. And it was about an 8-hour drive. Now this is where it's flat, it's really flat. This is where it really, I was overwhelmed actually by this. This was crazy. So I get out of Colorado and you see the mountains just kind of get further and further in the distance, and then it gets really flat. Then the landscape goes so far, it's just all desert. And then for about, out of the 8-hour drive, for about 5 hours, no, let me not exaggerate, maybe about 4 hours, there was just nothing. Like, there was nothing, no towns. Like, halfway between, I found one small town with one small gas station. And it was cool because when you did see a small town like that, it looks like the Taco Bells used to look in the 90s. Like, they tried to make them look like haciendas or whatever, but these people were living that life, and it was amazing. It was so cool to see. I wish I saw more, but here's what I did see. I didn't see Area 51. I wish I did. I wish I saw all the people standing outside protesting. But I did see one sign that said, do not pick up hitchhikers, and it was from the county, like some sort of jail, some sort of mass prison complex. So yeah, you're right, I won't pick up those guys. But then once in a while I would see a car go by me, but I saw these like thin metal arches. Like, so I'm driving down the road, and on the sides of the roads, every now and then you'd see this thin metal arch, maybe, I don't know, maybe 14 feet high, 15 feet high. And on the top, out of iron, it would say like blah 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 cemetery. So like, it would just be this metal arch, and then something cemetery, and then a dirt road. So if you made a left or right into it, it'd just be this dirt road that would go so far into the horizon you couldn't see where it ended. You didn't see a cemetery. You just saw thing, cemetery, road. And that's pretty much like one of the main things I would see maybe every half hour, 45 minutes maybe. And it's just crazy because I didn't see any houses. I saw very few towns, and when I saw towns, they were so small. I didn't see like grocery stores. I didn't see. So I know I'm completely ignorant. I don't know much about this area. So I would love to hear from any of you that know more about New Mexico or live in New Mexico. Tell me, what was I driving through for 4 hours straight? I had no cell phone reception, couldn't listen to music, couldn't listen to any kind of podcast or anything. So it was like this just this really long drive of like my brain, a desert, and some cemeteries. And so let me tell you, I had some thoughts. This is insane. This is insane. What is the definition of insanity? Over and over and over again. But it was cool, and I would love to know more about that area and understand how people, like, where they go, what the community's like. I know in small towns, the community is awesome. People really bond together. It's really healthy for the kids a lot of times. I know that everybody knows your business, and some of that element could be bad, but there's plenty of bad stuff in the cities too. But that sense of community is really strong. So I know that's really good for mental health and all kinds of things. So if you're from this area, I want to know more about it, if you don't mind. So when I arrived in New Mexico, it's definitely a bigger town. I think it was like 45,000 something is the population here. So when I got here, I kind of felt like, all right, there's going to be some stuff, because I'm here for 7 days almost. I'm in the same town playing schools in this area. So it's good to know that there's like stores, maybe a mall or outlets or something, somewhere I can go if I need to get something or whatever. So I got here, and normally on this trip, I've been eating at McDonald's a lot. And I try to eat like chicken salads and stuff, so I don't think I'm like just, supersizing the whole time. But I eat at McDonald's a lot because when you go into a small town, usually it's like a diner that closes really early and then a McDonald's. And so it's just there, it's familiar, there's light, and there's people. So I can sit there and I can work on stuff and just be around people rather than just be in the hotel by myself like a weirdo. So when I got here, I saw McDonald's. I was exhausted. I was like, I'm just gonna go to McDonald's, get something, and go back to bed, or come back and go to bed, because my time's all messed up right now. So, but right across the street, I saw this place called Rose's. Let me get this right. Rose's something cafe. I'll put it on the screen here because I don't want to break my thought here. And I saw a cart, like tons of pickup trucks in there. Like it was packed, but it was a weird restaurant because it had like a drive-through. So I was like, wow. But it looked like a regular restaurant. I'm like, this is interesting. And I'm in New Mexico. And if I don't do something cultural to the area, I'm going to regret it. If I go to one more McDonald's, people are going to be like, how was your tour? I'll be like, it was McGood. So I went to the drive-thru and I realized I have no idea what I'm ordering. And so I just pulled forward. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm coming in. And the girl's like, all right. So I pull up behind the trucks in front of me, and I just had to wait. And then I get to the window. I'm like, I'll see you in a minute. And I park and I go in. And when I go in, it's just like there's this place where you just order food, like a fast food place. But then you go sit at a table, because I thought it was like a restaurant. Do I sit down, wait for a waiter or waitress, whatever? And then you wait for your number and you sit down, and there's this like salsa bar, like nothing I've ever seen. Like there's like whole jalapenos this big sitting in the salsa bar. It was amazing. So I sit down, I ordered like 3 burritos and a soft taco, because I was like, I'm starving. I hadn't eaten all day. I was just driving through the desert, and it was way too much food. I was stuffed. And then they gave you these like tortillas, these extra 2 tortillas in like a little wrap. Holy cats. Amazing. Some of the best food, best Mexican food I've ever had in my life, hands down. I'm just gonna say it. Sorry, Taco Bell, I still love you. I'll still come to your hacienda, but you are nothing compared to this joint. This was amazing. And I was such a goofball because I'm by myself, right? And like if Beth were with me, I would have driven from Colorado 8 hours, taken her there, and driven 8 hours back if I had to. I really wish I could experience this stuff with her. That's why I don't really like doing like things in areas. I just like to just go play the show, go to my hotel, whatever, and just be done with it. It's like without Beth, she's my jalapeno. She's the spice of my life, and I miss her horribly. So I got some great food. I went back to my hotel, and then this morning I got up and I tried to go to church, but I was late, like I always am. I couldn't blame my kids. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this new style. I know it's way longer than normal, and a lot more talking, but whatever. If you don't like it, I don't know, whatever. We'll do something else. But I just want to try something different, you know. So I hope you guys like what you saw. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Don't forget to follow Beth's Instagram for all the latest, cutest bits and pics from back home.
If you want to know how you can help us, just letting people know we exist is a big deal. Definitely stream our music on, you know, Spotify, Pandora, Xbox Live, or you can stream it right here on YouTube. Just search FLINTFACE, one word. Also, we do have a Patreon. If you want to support what we're doing, we really do need help. We've hesitated. We've had this Patreon for over a year, and we never told anybody about it, really. I think we mentioned it. I think we linked it, but we really never pushed it. But you know, I think we're at a point now where we all know how this goes on YouTube and how, you know, it is when you're trying to start a business by yourself. And this is our business. This is what we do. And the message is strong and we care about it. And if you care about it, you know, your support definitely helps us keep doing it. You know, we have bills like everyone else. We have children. And so you can't just not work and just go drive around the country. You know, it comes through support and help, and it keeps us going. So that's all I'm going to say about that. And love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye.